Hello friends, this is me, your host. Welcome back to our channel. I hope you all are well and doing great. So today I'm back with another video to give a review on a book which is Death Row by Frida McFadden. It's a present day. It is entirely possible that being on death row is worse than death. I can't say for sure since I haven't yet experienced death. We'll have an update on that soon. But I have experienced death row, and it's hard to imagine anything much worse. The worst part about death row is the seclusion. Prisoners on death row are kept isolated from the rest of the prisoners. We get a single cell and we don't eat in the dining hall and with all the rest of the prisoners. When we go out in the prison yard, it's always alone with a guard. You might think, hey great, who wants to share a crowded cell with a bunch of other women? When I first heard that, I'd be avoiding Gen Pop. I didn't think it sounded so bad. I had heard horror stories about maximum security prisons. I imagined being beaten or raped or stabbed with a shiv while the guards were looking the other way. But no, this is worse, much worse. Currently, I am lying on the bed in my cell. I spent 23 hours of the day in this cell, which is roughly the size of a parking space. Humans are not designed to be locked in a cage for 95% of the day. I have a small bed that is really just a metal slab attached to the wall. Covered by a thin mattress. Actually, calling it a mattress is a stretch. It's more like a thick blanket that has been folded over a couple of times There is a small desk with a stool that is also welded to the wall, and of course, a metal toilet and sink. If I roll to my side on this sorry excuse for a bed, I can just barely see the one tiny window. One slightly larger than my hand, which is close to the ceiling. If I roll, I'd have to stand on my bed in order to see outside. Although there is not much of a view, which Noel always says is the most important thing about picking a place to live. That was what he used to say, at least before he was murdered. I am meeting with Bowman tomorrow about my appeal. Sometimes he calls me, but this time he wants to meet me in person, which means whatever he has to say is important. I am naively hopeful about the appeal, although I'm always hopeful. How could anyone think that I killed Noel? I had no motive. He was the love of my life. And most of all, I have an alibi. Yet here I am, about to be executed for his murder. And the worst part of it all is how much I miss him. It's another present day. I wake up, my heart pounding. For a moment, I forget where I am and think that I am lying in bed with my husband. There is a distant beeping sound coming from somewhere within the prison that almost sounds like my alarm clock at home. Any moment now, Noel will silence the alarm and stumble in the direction of the bathroom, where he will pee for so long. It's amazing that he has any fluid left in his body when it's over. Then he will crawl back into bed and cuddle with me for a few more minutes before we have to start our days. And then I remember that I am in a prison cell, all alone, and Noel is dead. The only place he's still alive is in my dreams. The dreams seem to be getting more vivid, which is even more frustrating. I still remember the day Noel and I met at the cafe. And in my dream, it's like I am there. I can almost reach out and touch him. I grab the flimsy blanket, trying to cover my body. It must be winter. Because it's ice cold in the cell. During the winter, it's freezing, and during the summer, it's a sauna. There is no air conditioning whatsoever. Honestly, I am lucky they give me a toilet and not just a bucket in the corner of my room in which to do my business. I hear a scratching noise from the corner of the room. I can barely see because the lights have been off in the prison since 10 o'clock sharp. But the sun has started to rise in the sky. And there is just enough light coming through the tiny window to make out some of the details of my room. I squint into the corner, trying to make out the source of the noise. Sure enough, it's a rat. It's a big one too. Much bigger than the rats I used to see on the outside. It's so big that it almost looks like a mutant rat from some sci-fi TV show who might also do karate. And the rats here are so bold. They have no fear whatsoever. The rat knows I can't hurt him. The most the most dangerous object I have been given in the cell is a spoke. Do rats bite humans? There was a time when I would have googled this information. But I can't do that anymore. I don't have access to the internet. I so I just have to lie here in bed and wonder if the giant rat is going to bite me. Today is the day that I meet with Bowman about my appeal. Technically, I get unlimited appeals on death row. But if this last one fails, well, then what? I have been banging my head against the wall for years, and I am tired of it. The part I don't understand, though, is why. Why would they think I killed my husband? It's not like I had a criminal record. It's not like we were having marriage troubles. And on top of that, at the moment Noel was killed, I was having dinner with my friend Kinsey. She watched for me, as did the wait staff at the restaurant. But the prosecutor argued otherwise. It doesn't matter if he had an alibi. She set the whole thing up. If not for this woman, Noel Kemper would still be alive. The scampering of the rat grows louder. He is coming closer to my bed. Maybe I shouldn't be so frightened of a rat. Don't kids keep rats for pets? I'm so lonely in this cell. Maybe I could turn the rat into a companion. Noel and I always talked about having children, but that never ended up happening. And now it never will. But I can have a pet rat. I can even name him. What's good name for a rat? How about Pat? Pat the rat. The scurrying of the rat grows louder. I lose track of him for a moment because it's still so dark in the room. Did he go back out the hole that he came in through? And then I see it. Two glowing red eyes staring at me from the other end of my bed. Pat the rat is on my bed. Despite the fact that I was planning to turn this rat into my pet or surrogate child, I start screaming. There is something about finding a rat in your bed that is particularly disturbing. Camper. The harsh voice of the guard from the other side of the door is enough to quiet my screams. It's not Ria. I can't tell who it is, but I would recognize Ria's voice. Camper. The guard barks again. What's going on in there? Are you injured? No, I look around the dimly lit cell. My screams have frightened off Pat the rat. He's vanished back to wherever he came from. Or at the very least, he's not on my bed anymore. I could tell the CEO about the rat, but what are they going to do? Get an exterminator? Very unlikely. Besides, I don't want them to hurt the rat. I had a bad dream, I finally say. The guard grunts. I don't expect any sympathetic words, and I am not disappointed. Go back to sleep or shut up. I don't see how I could possibly sleep after my encounter with the rat. But I guess I am more tired than I thought. Because when I lie back down on my bed, my eyes slowly drift shut. Present day. Ria. My voice is hoarse, even though my throat has been hurting for the last several weeks. It feels even worse right now. I can barely even get any words out, but I still push forward. Can you please stop? I need to. Ria finally pauses for a moment, turning to look at me with barely disguised annoyance. What is it, camper? That man, the one visiting that other inmate. He is. I swallow, trying to moisten my throat. I think he is my. How am I supposed to say this? I'm pretty sure that man in the visiting area is my dead husband. Yes, I recognize how that would sound. Ria sighs heavily. Spit it out or start moving. He looked like my husband. That gives her a moment of pause. Her somewhat scuffy eyebrows inch upward. Your husband that you murdered? No, I say quickly. I mean, yes, that husband, but I didn't murder him. She smirks at my assertion. He looks a lot like Noel. I shuffle my shackled feet. A lot like Noel. But your husband is dead, she points out. And he didn't have an identical twin, did he? He did not. Who was that man? I press her. hell if I know. Ria grabs my arm, clearly weary of this conversation. Come on, let's let's get you back to yourself. As far as Ria is concerned, the matter is concluded. But I keep thinking about that man all the way back to my cell. And I don't thinking about him even when I fall asleep that night on my crappy mattress with Pat the rat staring at me through the darkness. I wake up with a jolt, an uneasy feeling in the pit of my stomach. I have been dreaming about Noel every night. Recently, but this is the first dream I have had that took place after I found out that he, well, you know, it's not a time I want to think about. I certainly don't want to dream about it. It's bad enough that my days on death row are so miserable. I used to look forward to escaping into my dreams. If those dreams turn into nightmares, I sit up on my flimsy mattress, noticing that I'm covered in a layer of sweat. It's very uncomfortable, but I have no change of clothes within my cell. So I just need to deal with the discomfort. That annoying beeping sound is also going off somewhere in the prison, which may have been what wrenched me from sleep. There is no end to that torment I have to endure in this place. On the plus side, at least, there isn't a rat in my bed. Camper, I lift my head at the sound of the female voice coming from behind the door to my cell. It sounds like Ria. She must have pulled the night shift. Camper, are you awake? I crawl out of bed and stumble in the direction of the door. Yes, I say, although my voice is even more hoarse than usual. My throat feels painfully parched. I would gain a confession for an extra glass of water with my meals. I am awake. I just wanted to tell you, Ria says in a whisper like she doesn't want the other guards to hear her. I looked into that man you were interested in, found out who he is. I am suddenly wide awake. I forget all about my sweat-soaked clothes and the rat that is almost certainly scurrying around my cell. Who is he? He's a chaplain, she says. His name is Richard Decker. Father Decker. A chaplain? I suppose that makes sense, especially given the way he was dressed. But it also doesn't make any sense at all. He looked so much like Noel. The fact that he is a chaplain might explain why he was in the prison the other day. But it doesn't explain the similarity in appearance. It doesn't explain the feeling I got when our eyes meet. Could I see him for a visit? I ask her. There is a pause behind the door. Yes, I can arrange for Father Decker to give you your last rites once they move you to Death Watch. Death Watch. When there are 3 days left before my execution, I will be moved to Death Watch in preparation for the final event. It is not something I'm looking forward to. I My understanding, Ria says, is that he has performed last rites before for other death row inmates. Everything she is telling me strongly indicates that Father Decker is exactly who he says he is. He is a chaplain who counsels inmates and offers last rites when they are needed. The thought that this man could be my dead husband is almost too ridiculous for words. Yet, I can't stop thinking that's exactly who he is. Please set it up a crop. I will do that, Priya says softly. think it will give you peace. I want to look that man in the eyes. When I do, I will know exactly who he is. I have been moved to an area adjacent to the execution chamber, which is referred to as the death watch area. It's not any nicer. Much like my previous dwelling, my room is about the size of a parking spot. The mattress is slightly more comfortable, although not much. We are making preparations for the event. Kinsey brought in an outfit for me to wear so I don't have to die in my prison clothes. Instead, I will die in black slacks and a blue cotton blouse. So much better. I will also get to decide what I want for my final meal. It's not as exciting as all that, though. I have been informed that there is a price limit of $40. So it's not like I can get an arm case experience for my final meal. No, ma, ma. Yeah, boy. And then, of course, I will have my visit with Father Decker. Ever since I had eyes on that chaplain, my dreams about Noel have been growing darker. The two of us had so many happy times together. But at the end, no, end wasn't so good. I did things that I regret. Terrible things. But if he's alive, if somehow that gas explosion did not kill him, and he's still here and breathing, it's possible. I never saw his body, dead body. He could be alive. I want it so badly, it hurts. On the day before my execution, Ria fetches me from the cell in Death Watch. We go through the same rigmarole of shackling my arms and legs, then patting me down. I barely even notice it. All I can think about is Noel. I'm going to see him. You are shaking. Ria nods as she leads me to the visiting area. Yes, it will be good for you to meet with the chaplain, she says. You are almost at the end now. Yes, I am almost at the end. Short of a miracle. I will not avoid execution. The only thing that could stop it is if my husband is still alive. Because you can't be executed for murdering someone who is still alive. I follow Ria to the visiting area. She is right. I'm shaking like a leaf, and when we get close, I nearly trip over my own feet. It's entirely possible that this man is just an ordinary prisoner. In fact, that is most likely scenario. We reach the visiting area and I am the only one here. Much like the yard, they have cleared it for me to be alone. There is only one man waiting on the outside of the glass. He is here to give me my last rites. Slowly I walk toward the man dressed in black with a white strip on his collar. Father Decker is wearing the same kind of black jacket and black dress shirt that he had on other day. We are doing the right thing, a male voice is saying. I know it's hard, but like I have said, you have to. You have to know when to let go. The voice is coming from right above me. It sounds like Clarence Bowman, my lawyer. But that wouldn't make sense. My eyes drifted shut after Albert injected the sedative. And when I now try to open them, they won't open on my command. Is that because of the mecuronium bromide? The beeping has also become much louder. It always sounded distant when I heard it in the past. But now it feels like the source is right in the room with me, directly above my head. Beep, 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 beep. It's too soon. It's Noel's voice suddenly in the room with me as well. Why is he here? Chaplains aren't allowed in the room during execution. It's only been a month. She she still might wake up. It's possible, isn't it? Dr. Bowman. I'm sorry, but the chances are remote. It's the voice of my lawyer again, Clarence Bowman. But why did Noel call him Dr. Bowman? She hasn't made any attempts to breathe on her own since the accident. The scans show her brain is more blood than brain. At this point, I would say there is no hope of her ever waking up. Not making any attempts to breathe on my own. I try to open my mouth to ask what he is talking about. But then I realize there is a tube down my throat. I try to swallow, but the pain is intense. My throat feels like it's on fire. And that beeping is relentless. How can anyone stand it? You can't do this. It's Noel again. His voice choked up. You have got to give her more time. I'm sorry. Bowman. Dr. Bowman sounds genuinely sad. Your wife has an advanced directive, though. She didn't want to be kept alive this way. And we have to honor her wishes. We have waiting as long as we can. We even had Father Decker come in yesterday to give her last rites. No, I become aware of the sensation of Noel's hand gripping mine. I try to squeeze him back to let him know I'm still in here, but I can't. I can only lie there, letting the machines push air into my lungs. Please, no. Please don't do this. Dr. Bowman, not now. Ria washed her up and brushed her hair this morning. Dr. Bowman says in a gentle voice, Now she is. Now she is going to inject a sedative in her IV, and then we will turn off the ventilator. She will go quickly after that. Don't worry, it's Ria's voice now, speaking in that same gentle tone. It will be quick, and she won't feel any pain. I promise. Noel squeezes my hand tighter. I don't know if I have ever heard him cry before, but the sound is unmistakable. He wakes up Talia. He pleads with me. Please wake up. I love you so much. She knows you love her, Ria tells him. I'm sure she knows, and now she is moving on to a happier place. This will release her. Noel doesn't reply, he's still crying. Okay then. Dr. Bowman says, I am turning off the ventilator now. Noel clings to my hand as the last whoosh of air is pushed into my lungs, and then the sounds around me fade out slowly, like a song that is coming to an end. So here we have ended our story. I hope you guys enjoyed this crime thriller mystical story. If you did, don't forget to press the like button. And if you want to suggest me any book review, you can suggest me in the comment section so I can make a video on that book too. So if you wanted to buy these books, you can buy it from our website, which is Best Book for You. So I'll be back with another video with another book review tomorrow. Till then, just take care and goodbye.